Fancy jumping on PS5 to play some games with your mates? Well, here are some of the best multiplayer games to play on PS5 right now. Hello folks, Aaron here from Push Square, and first up in our list we have Phasmophobia. This 4-player ghost hunting experience is a great laugh. A crew of you will enter a haunted location, whether that be a house, a school, a cabin, and then you'll get to use a bunch of tools to gather evidence and basically decide which ghost is haunting that location. But of course, these ghosts aren't too happy about you being there and will squeeze the very life out of you if they get the chance. What that then means is that you actually have to be fairly coordinated and kinda tactical in your approach to decipher which ghost is hunting you down. It can be a bit much to wrap your head around sometimes, but once you get it, you have a spooky but hilarious multiplayer session on your hands, and you can play it all in PSVR 2 as well. The Outlast series went multiplayer with the Outlast Trials, a 3-player survival horror experience. You will take part in ever complicated trials where you must solve puzzles to progress through many mazes, and then you have to make your way back to the base. That sounds easy, but the entire time you have an unkillable, psychopathic serial killer at your heels. It holds on to the hallmarks of the series, where you'll be running, hiding, and using your camera's night vision to forge your way through the dark. It is absolutely hilarious to play this with your friends. There are plenty of trials and new killers being added through its live service model. I don't think this one gets the credit it deserves. Take to the high seas with some friends in this pirate adventure. Sea of Thieves is a massive open seas game where you and up to 3 others will take control of a ship on the continual hunt for treasure. It's kind of a mixture of easygoing and slightly more intensive stuff. Like, there's very low stakes to it all, which makes it the perfect game to just chill out to, but then actually controlling your ship with friends can be really stressful in a fun kind of way, as you need to be coordinated as you operate different parts of the ship, even more so when you have another team of players approaching and a boatload of loot that you really don't want them to steal. It's good casual fun that can easily see you through hundreds of hours of play. Fortnite's staying power is truly unbeatable. This free-to-play battle royale, amongst other things, has really just been the go-to for so many gamers out there, and to be honest, I get it. Fortnite has managed to be this easygoing time for a lot of friend groups, and it's just like a toy box basically, with its continually expanding roster of skins that tie into movies, other games and TV shows. Where else can the bride from Kill Bill team up with Scooby-Doo and fight against Homer Simpson? And to top it off, it's a solid mechanical experience with great third-person shooting and traversal mechanics. Not many traditionally single-player developers can make a co-op version of their iconic RPG, and not only does it work, but people seem to love it. But Nightreign is one of those exceptions. You and 2 other players will take on random iterations of the same map, where you must survive 2 days of killing random enemies and other bosses while tackling its streamlined leveling system and just praying for a strong build against its many character archetypes. You'll then take all of that to face off against one of the Night Lords, new bosses specific to Nightreign. It manages to be fun and a good laugh while still holding on to that hardcore From Software feel. Now, I've sunk over 70 hours into this game by this point, so if you've got some mates that love Elden Ring, you have to try this one out together. Let's get tactical. Ready or Not is a sort of shooter simulator where squads of 5 will need to clear out levels of enemy NPCs. The thing is, a single bullet, even one from your own squad, can end your run, and enemies are actually quite aggressive and tactical. So you're gonna need to work together to ensure you're checking your corners if you want any chance of making it out alive. What I love about this is how dark it is, with so many different levels, with different tactical scenarios that you need to consider in different ways. It feels very unique and immersive. Now, it is going to be a bit slow for some people, but it's proper live wire stuff when bullets start flying. Elder Scrolls Online has been about for a while, but if you're looking for some easygoing RPG goodness, you can't really go wrong with this. It's got that Bethesda janky feel to it, which some love, and it's got a huge offering of quests, dungeons and campaigns to dig into. It's free to play for the base experience, which will keep you entertained for ages, but there is also a subscription for those that want to get into the nitty gritty. With various builds to test out and a huge world to explore, this is a meaty old MMO. Monster Hunter Wilds is a great co-op experience because it's also a game you can dig into yourself. It's a huge RPG with enormous new areas to explore and so many damn monsters to study and hunt. It just so happens that you can do all of that with your friends as well. Now there's a full 30-hour or so campaign for you to play together, but once you're done with that, you've got the end game with some proper deep stuff to tackle. That means you'll be coordinating builds, weapon types, traps, and various bits of gear to master monster attacks and conquer the most dangerous creatures out there. The comeback the series dearly needed, Battlefield 6 is a return to form, harking back to the glory days of Battlefield 3 and 4. The gunplay here feels much weightier than it did in 2042, and it rids itself of the whole hero shooter thing to go for a much more classic class-based system. And you just know that that immersive gameplay experience here is top of the line, making it a great one to play with your friends. When I'm on with my mates, we practically roleplay with the radio chatter audio. It's so much fun. Mess with the audio in this one as well. But what's even better about BF6 is it's actually a big collective of game modes, not just within its regular multiplayer, but also the user-generated content in Portal and even a full separate battle royale mode called RedSec. Warframe is another huge MMO and actually predates Elder Scrolls Online as one of the earliest free-to-play live service console games out there. It's got a big old sci-fi world to explore with enormous expansions and gameplay that has evolved and improved over the years. Sure, that can make it a little intimidating to get into as a newbie, but the game's made some improvements to make the onboarding a much smoother experience. Once you get down to brass tacks though, you have a really cool third-person combat system that blends gunplay with melee weapons and parkour movement systems, all in a multi-planet universe stuffed with cool levels, enemies and lore. The sky really is the limit, or maybe it's not the limit actually, when it comes to No Man's Sky. This flop-turned Goliath of a sci-fi adventure has steadily become a riot to play with friends. You have an endless galaxy full of planets to explore where you'll collect resources, upgrade your ship, find the perfect home, take part in galaxy hopping adventures, and honestly at this point there's so much to No Man's Sky, you could easily just focus on one specific bit and leave the rest and still get so much content out of that. It can be whatever you're in the mood for. And Hello Games just keeps knocking it out of the park with unreal updates to this, all at no extra cost. So take to the skies with your friends, build a mega base together, or become space pirates that torment the solar system. It can all be done in No Man's Sky. So next up, I've included Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 because it feels like a multiplayer game of old. You have a gnarly third-person shooter campaign that pit stops its way across some awesome 40k settings that you can play in solo or with 2 other friends. Then there's a full co-op campaign which has a multitude of difficulty settings so you and your friends can face the harshest of challenges, complete with a whole leveling system to customize and improve your very own Space Marine. And to top it all off, you've got a PvP multiplayer mode which is just good multiplayer fun. None of it's flashy, nor does it have a unique spin on anything. But man, it's just nice to have a cool game give you the option without trying to be the next big thing. So for all the crap that Ubisoft gets, some of it's warranted of course, it still has offered one of the most impressive live service games on record with Rainbow Six Siege, now with an added X, it's Rainbow Six Siege X for some reason. Anyway, this game has been kicking about for 10 years at this point and its size is monumental. It's a 5v5 first-person tactical shooter where you will basically fight over a planted bomb, playing as either an attacker or defender. You then have a plethora of unique characters to select, each with their own skills and weapons. But the thing is, sort of like Ready or Not, it's super realistic, where a single bullet can mean death. That means then team coordination is a must, and with 10 years of new content and refining, it's such a great tactical time with all of these different characters with all of their unique skills. Yeah, this one's a lot of fun. Focusing up a little to just a co-op game, Split Fiction is the latest adventure from the people that brought you A Way Out and It Takes Two. This though is easily its best work, with two writers stuck inside a simulation of their own creations. As you explore fantasy and sci-fi worlds, you'll work together to overcome a myriad of fun gameplay mechanics and obstacles, switching style, format and genre. It's a little harder than It Takes Two if you do plan to play with a non-gamer, but it also keeps you on your toes the whole time, making for a 12-ish hour campaign that will fly by. And only one person actually needs to own this game to play online co-op, and you also have the option to play locally, which is a really nice inclusion. Diablo IV is an ARPG from Blizzard and an utterly enormous offering. It has a full campaign, PvE and PvP content, all in a rotation with seasons, which basically restart your progress with new content every season. Now, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again, the world and story surrounding Diablo IV is really what does it for me. It's dark and violent and endlessly grim. But if you're looking for that gameplay experience, then you've also got a really deep build crafting system with a bunch of character classes which drastically switch up how you play. That means you can work together with your friends while still trying out whatever you like, and all while working through dungeons and all sorts of dark endgame content. The smash hit of 2024, Helldivers 2, is just enormous amounts of fun for those that want a quick blast of co-op action. You and up to 3 other players will drop onto a planet inhabited by giant bugs, killer robots, or mind-controlled aliens. Pretty much, I think that's what they are. Anyway, you're gonna need to try and survive the onslaught while completing a bunch of tasks, all in the name of Super Earth. Helldivers 2 is fantastic third-person shooting, but the funny part is that you're basically just a mushy wee human, where a rogue bullet or a missile strike can send you flying. Helldivers 2 is at its most fun when everything goes wrong, you're surviving by the skin of your teeth. I drop back into this one every now and again, and it's always just so much fun with my mates. The Finals is, in my opinion, the best multiplayer FPS game on the market right now. 3 or 4 teams of 3 fight over a cash box and must deposit it to make it to the next round, in what is basically, in the lore, a big VR or digital game show. The gunplay and class system is simplistic, yet offers a lot of freedom in your builds, but the real showstopper here is the destruction. The Finals has the kind of destruction that Battlefield could only dream of, where walls and entire buildings can dynamically fall apart, and all of it is still mountable. It gives the Finals a whole other edge, as many of its objective points sit in buildings with 2, 3 or even 4 floors, so you can take the objective down a few floors, you can destroy all of the floors so no one can get up. It's just, there's so many options here. It's free to play as well, so really please give this one a go. It is truly unforgettable. Who says Overwatch is dead when you've got Marvel Rivals? Yep, Marvel Rivals pretty much is Overwatch down to the style and the tone and the game modes and pretty much everything, but it does take that team-based tactical experience and dumps your favourite Marvel superheroes in there. What I do like about Marvel Rivals is that it has this pairing mechanic where extra abilities or skills are unlocked when you have, say, Groot paired up with Mantis, or Loki, Hela and Thor all working in a team together. It means each has their own unique style, but choosing who to play them off of is really important. And this game has been updated continually, with new Marvel heroes and villains being added to its growing roster. Now, there is nothing more chill than just shooting some hoops with mates in NBA 2K26. Honestly, these are always usually pretty great, but I reckon you could pick up just about any of these games, not specifically the newest one, just to have a fun casual time with your pals. The gameplay looks near realistic, which I suppose explains the insane install sizes, but for those looking to shirk the line of sporty fun that's casual but also competitive, then you can't really go wrong with a bit of NBA. One of the most recent multiplayer hits, Arc Raiders, is such a great laugh. This is a third-person immersive extraction shooter where raiders will venture from their underground cities to scavenge loot, all while avoiding killer AI robots called Arc and other hostile players. This one feels like it's taken on a life of its own, with some of the most fun social interactions in the multiplayer space. Jumping into game chat, you can negotiate with people to play friendly, or go private with those comms to backstab other teams with your mates. Finding that balance of which way to go and trying to read other characters is some of the best multiplayer fun you can have, and I don't want to say this is just fun. Arc Raiders can be super tense as well. It has that spectrum there that makes it just a great multiplayer pick. So there you have it, 20 multiplayer games that you should be playing in 2026. Let me know the games that you love to play with your friends, or even just the ones you love to solo grind. Let me know about them down in the comments below. When you're there, if you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, and if you're into this kind of content and the world of PlayStation, then do consider subscribing to the channel. That really does mean the world to me. Anyway, that's it from me today, so until next time, I've been Aaron, and this has been Push Square.